over, converts again.
Pull outside to Clavel. Pull up, 20-footer. Good! Bounce past the Duffy left hand.
Good evening, and thanks for tuning in to CTV Sports on this Monday night. I'm Olivia Landis.
And I'm Karlee Schwartzkopf, bringing you the latest updates for CSU Sports.
Hallelujah! Karlee, did you hear that?
I did. I think that might be the sound of CSU fans celebrating the football's victory this past weekend.
I think you're right.
The Colorado State football team had a chance to redeem itself this past weekend after a tough loss to Colorado at the Rocky Mountain Showdown earlier this month. The Rams kicked off their season home opener Saturday with a 23-14 win over the University of San Antonio Roadrunners. CSU now has won its last 4 home openers, including 8 of the last 9 dating back to 2008. Senior Fatone Bowder was the starting quarterback for the Rams this past weekend, throwing a total of 82 yards, but was replaced in the fourth quarter by true freshman quarterback Colin Hill. Hill finished the game 2 of 6 with a total of 26 yards. The Rams defense made big strides this past weekend, allowing just over 230 yards of total offense and virtually stopping the Roadrunners' offense altogether in the second half. Senior captain Kevin Davis recorded three sacks among his 6 tackles and a forced fumble after the win. This weekend, Coach Bobo seemed to be very optimistic for this team's improvements.
Was it pretty? No, but we did improve from week 1. We got improved from week 2 going into week 3. And I believe we did that by having competition all week, by challenging guys, within themselves to go out and answer the bell at every practice, every meeting, and get better. And that's what we need to continue to do as a football team, is get better week in and week out. It sounds simple, but that's the way you go about doing things. We're not even close to a finished product. We're throwing the ball right now, but we will get better by working, and looking forward to starting next week.
Next up, the Rams will host the annual Ag Day Orange Out against the University of Northern Colorado this upcoming Saturday. Kickoff is at 2 p.m. Liv, that football game was exciting. The defense really showed up this past weekend.
Yeah, especially Kevin Davis. You touched up a little bit on it in your reader, but Kevin Davis, he's one of the team captains, and he's really showing that leadership on the field. So I would say the defense played a huge part. I mean, we have to talk a little bit about the quarterback battle going on. I mean, it's a little bit of a struggle here to see these quarterbacks going back and forth.
Definitely. This is something that a lot of college football teams don't see. Going between 3 different quarterbacks is not only hard for the team and the coaches, but especially the receivers as well. Elroy Masters said in the press conference, it's really hard for him as a player to know which quarterback is playing. Each quarterback throws so differently, and that can have a huge effect on the game. So hopefully we get a starting quarterback set for the rest of the season.
Yeah, and it is a little disappointing to see that Colin Hill, he burned his red shirt by going in during that game. And so hopefully we'll be able to see him play a little bit more this season so he didn't waste that red shirt. But it'll be interesting to see how the rest of the season plays out.
Absolutely.
Well, last Friday night, the 5th largest crowd in Moby Arena has ever held for CSU volleyball game watched the number 3 Texas Longhorns sweep the Rams in 3 close sets. CSU put on a tough fight for the fans attending as they fell just 25-23 in 2 of the sets. The national champion runner-up Longhorns went back and forth with the Rams, taking the first lead 4-3. The Rams soon fell behind, though, and didn't recover in the first set. During the second set, the game was tied on 9 different occasions, but the Rams failed to gain a lead. The team did see some bright spots, however, with Jasmine Hanna leading the team in kills for the 2nd night in a row, and senior libero Cassidy Denny had a match-high 15 digs, with 8 of those coming in the final set. The Rams now look to host New Orleans on September 16th at 7 p.m. Karlee, this team is very young. They only have 1 senior, Cassidy Denny, but they really played the Longhorns tough. They went 3 really tight sets. I mean, how do you see this team going so far in the season?
Definitely, like you said, they are a young team, so it's all about finding out how each other plays and growing with each other. And the fact that they played this team who's so good and ranked in the country, definitely says a lot about their potential as a team. I think we can see a lot from them this season.
And it was quite the comeback from the previous night when they lost pretty badly to Wichita State, which was not nearly as good of a team as Texas. So I think, playing in front of that large crowd, being the 5th largest in Moby Arena to attend a volleyball game, I think, they feed off of that a little bit.
Absolutely. And CSU's volleyball team has always been amazing. These young girls probably feel they have big shoes to fill, which sometimes can be scary, but also can be really encouraging as well.
Yeah, and Coach Tom Hilbert in the press conference did say that the youth is no longer an excuse. They can't use how young their team is to excuse these losses. So I'm excited to see where this team's going to go.
Yeah, it looks good. The Colorado State women's tennis team has now hired their second full-time assistant coach. Former Northern Arizona coach Eric Medlin will join the Rams for this upcoming 2016-2017 season. After the Rams lost their head coach John Messick, who coached the Rams for over 26 years, Jared Kimtona took the role of head coach. Kimtona stated that Erica was my first choice even before I got the job. Medlin will be a great addition to the Rams as she was a former collegiate tennis player herself and helped Northern Arizona to a championship appearance, taking 2nd place.
This past weekend, the Colorado State men's golf team headed down to Colorado Springs to compete at the Gene Miranda Falcon Invitational. CSU sophomore Jake Stellano led the Rams with a score of 212 over 54 holes, ranking him 4th individually, the best of his collegiate career. Quote, "It was a really good week for me. I feel very comfortable with my game right now." End quote. CSU finished 4th overall behind UTEP, UNLV, and the University of Colorado. The Rams will return home to the Fort Collins Country Club, where they will host the Ram Masters Invitational September 19th through the 20th. Well, it's time for our first break.
But when we return, we'll be playing a little Guess Who's Who game and a recap of top plays for the week. Don't go away.
Morning, Gary. We are GetSchooled.com. You want a college education, don't you?
You know you do.
That's why we're here. We're free and here to guide you through every step of the way, starting with attendance. Gary, financial aid forms. Picking a college, man. You and us go together like tacos and Tuesday.
And I love tacos. Go to GetSchooled.com.
Welcome back from the break, Rams. After a pretty crazy weekend of sports, Karlee and I decided to review the top 5 best plays of this week in CSU sports.
That's right, we'd like to call this new segment Righteous Ram Moments.
Our Righteous Rams moment comes from the CSU men's football team.
Izzy Matthews runs it in for the Rams' first touchdown.
All right, taking a look here at our second Righteous Rams moment. It comes from the women's volleyball team against Texas. Well, excuse us, we got a little bit of a technical difficulty there. We'll go ahead and show you Izzy Matthews' touchdown again because, nope, just kidding. We're going to skip back to volleyball with Alexandra Paletto absolutely killing it.
Here's another football moment. A great sack there by Kevin Davis. Rams recovered the ball too, I think.
Yeah, that was his one of 3 sacks that he had that day. And out here at number 4, we have Kirsty Hillier killing it against the Texas Longhorns. So you see, they did put up quite the fight.
Finally, we got Cam the Ram for our last Righteous Ram moment.
Cam the Ram dancing it out there in the end zone, of course, because of the win. So, Karlee, you're going to have to tell me, what was your favorite top 5 play of this week?
I definitely think Kevin Davis' sack. That was an awesome atmosphere being at Hughes. The fans got really excited, and it really shut down their offense. It was cool to see. Yeah, okay, I would have to agree with that one. And like we said, Kevin Davis played an absolutely amazing game. Yeah. I'm going to have to say, I'm going to go with the volleyball team, and I'm going to say Alexandra Paletto's kill against the Texas Longhorns, just because, you know, they were a nationally ranked team, number 3, and they still managed to do awesome against them. Yeah, that's huge. Those are some awesome Ram moments. Well, with athletes coming and going, old and new, it sometimes gets to be a little tricky to remember exactly who is who. So Karlee and I decided to test each other's knowledge in a new segment called Name That Ram.
Our first Colorado State player comes from the men's football team. All right, Karlee. Now, this player, he was named candidate for the Ray Guy Award for 2 years in a row. And he was named the National Football Foundation Colorado Chapter 2015 Special Teams Player of the Year. That right there gives you a little bit of a hint.
Definitely. It is going to be our kicker, Hayden Hunt.
And can we reveal who it is? It is Hayden Hunt.
Booyah. He is
Congrats.
an awesome player for us.
Yeah, he is. All right, moving on to number 2.
Okay, this one's for you. He's a men's basketball player. He averaged 20.8 points before his tragic injury ending his season. When he was a junior, he played all 33 games, making 44 three-pointers.
Ooh, that one's tough. Well, they gave me the answer there. That one is, I'm going to guess it's Jean Clavel. Am I right?
You might be right on that one.
Okay, well, 1 free point for me, so it's 1-1. Okay, moving on to the next one, number 3. So this one is a women's basketball player, and she was named to the Mountain West All-Defensive Team last year. In the 2014-2015 season. And then this past season, she was named the Mountain West Player of the Year. Who's your guess?
Gonna go with the tall blonde Ellen Nystrom.
And can we reveal who it is? And you are right.
Yeah. She my girl.
And that is 2 for Karlee. Let's move on to the last one.
Okay, this is another football player. He was ranked in top 10 in the Mountain West for total tackles, and he posted a team best 11 tackles against the Minnesota game last year.
Oh, this one's tough. I'm going to go ahead. I'm just going to have to say our captain, Kevin Davis. Am I right?
You are right.
What do you know? And then we are tied at 2-2. Well, unfortunately, that's all the time we have for you guys tonight.
Be sure to check out all of our sports coverage this weekend at www.collegiate.com and head towards the sports page. We'll see you here next week. Have a great night.